Hey, what's good? It's Ace from pfadvice.com. Like, share, subscribe, get notified, hit the bell, leave a comment. You know you want to. Our channel's growing, and we want you to be a part of it. So if you like the video, like the channel, and subscribe. Racism and race politics have always been a part of comics culture. I want to call it out. The recent Ironheart teaser and final trailers have received millions of views and hundreds of thousands of dislikes on YouTube. I think what you young kids call ratioing. The Disney Plus show starring Dominique Thorne as Riri Williams, a teenage tech prodigy who builds her own Iron Man suit based on Stark Tech, premieres on June 24th. The first 3 episodes will drop simultaneously, and it is a 6-part episode series. Now you might have reasons to not want to like this show before seeing it as a toxic fan. I get it. I don't respect it, but I get it. It was finished in 2022, but is only being released now, which is a bad sign. The show is basically about technology, about magic, which is kind of weird. The character development for Riri Williams has been lacking and stunted in the MCU. Unlike in the comic books, where Riri Williams first appeared in Invincible Iron Man number 7 in 2016, created by Brian Michael Bendis and Mike Deodato, Riri never meets or interacts with Tony Stark in the MCU. In the comic books, Stark was her mentor and was even her Jarvis-type AI for a little while. I can half understand a reluctance to embrace a character who came out of nowhere in the MCU to continue the legacy of Iron Man, but only half. The dislike of Riri Williams essentially boils down to racist and misogynistic hate. I can prove it. In the last several years, there has been fan art and fan casting pleas for John Bernthal to wear a Punisher variant of the Iron Man armor. In the comic books, the Punisher wore an Iron Man suit to stop international warlords. Look up this fan art and try to find the hate. There isn't any. Fans would embrace this. Bernthal's Punisher never met Stark, never had a connection with Stark in the comic books or the MCU, and has no connection or reason to wear this tech in the MCU. So why are online fans okay with John Bernthal in the Iron Man suit, but not Riri Williams? Sam Wilson received a lot of online hate for being the new Captain America, with many fans demanding that Bucky, a mind control assassin who killed JFK in the MCU, and Tony Stark's parents, and helped break up the Avengers, they were demanding Bucky become the new Cap. Racism, colorism, and misogyny have always been an intricate part of comic book geekdom. The first comic book, Action Comics number 1, came out in 1938 during Jim Crow. Black Panther made his debut in 1966, a year after Jim Crow ended on paper technically. That is not a happy accident. Over 86% of comic book superheroes are white males or white in general. That is race politics at play. It is not a happy accident. Even when we see racism and sexism in comics, we pretend not to see it. In the early 1990s, the Punisher was turned into a black man in the comic books by a doctor to escape the Kingpin, and the Punisher was forced to experience racism, a white guy pretending to be black. This story is purposely forgotten by Marvel and has never been mentioned again. Marvel pretends it never happened. In 2022, a What If comic featuring Miles Morales was heavily criticized for featuring racist stereotypes. The comic, What If number 4 from 2022, features Miles Morales' Thor, with Asgard portrayed as a scary hood you could avoid at night. with sneakers hanging from power lines, graffiti on in Mjolnir and the Rainbow Bridge, frost giants with dreadlocks, and Thor wearing basketball sneakers. In Lois Lane, number 106 from 1970, Superman uses a machine to make Lois black so she can understand the black experience and win a Pulitzer. That is 2 comics featuring blackface in this one video. In the 1960s, Green Lantern had an Inuit engineer and sidekick, Thomas Kalmaku, who was known as Pieface. No, I'm not joking. Kalmaku was portrayed by Taika Waititi in 2011's Green Lantern. In the original Ultimates comic run from 2002, Hank Pym was portrayed as a godless wife-beater and was shown sadistically beating up his wife, Janet Van Dyne, and enjoying it. I'm not talking about the MCU version, Michael Douglas. In the comic books, Hank Pym is still stained by the wife-beater stigma. In Avengers 2:13 from 1980, there is an infamous panel where Hank Pym pimp slaps Janet in a panel. So this is a very old characterization of Hank Pym as a wife-beater. Visit pfadvice.com. pfadvice.com is a personal finance and comic book entertainment site. I write weekly columns there. pfadvice.com is owned by District Media. I sincerely want to thank them for sponsoring this video. So what is my point? Racism and misogyny and race politics have always been a part of comic book culture. The first Captain America comic features Cap punching Adolf, but it took a lot of time for comic books to realize its worst tendencies when it came to racism or misogyny. I still don't believe the problem is solved. Woke used to mean being aware that institutionalized racism exists. Now, woke can mean anything as long as it is something that bothers white people. I think you should watch Ironheart before you dislike it. Judge the trailer all you want, but the hate reviews come from a place of racism and hatred. I think Don Cheadle should have picked up the legacy of Iron Man after Stark died as War Machine. Armor Wars was supposed to be a series and then a film, but then that was canceled. And Rhodey has an existing connection to Stark. It would have worked. The MCU forced this connection with Stark Tech and Riri Williams, and it didn't work out. It was stunted, and they didn't do it the right way. I understand that frustration, I do. But hating on a teenage black girl for its own sake, nah, I can't go for that, as Hall & Oates once said. Hate the show for its execution, but not because a black woman is in the Iron Man armor. You would not be saying this if John Bernthal was cast as the Punisher Iron Man and wore that armor. You wouldn't. What's your opinion? Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.